Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to One Closer to Success podcast. I'm here with,
Bryson Mustard.
and we are going to be obviously interviewing him with Ronan in England. And all right, let's get started on this. All right, so tell me about your story, Bryson.
All right, so I am from Boston, the Boston area, Massachusetts. I'm here at Marist College studying film. Um, Film has always been sort of my thing. I know we're probably going to touch on that at some point, but prior to coming here to studying film, I also ran a landscaping company back home, which I recently sold. Again, I'm sure we'll get into that. But I'm overall I would call myself a creative, someone who I'm constantly pursuing, whether it's a creative pursuit or just something. It's hard for me to kind of sit still and just be like chill. I'm always chasing that next thing. So that's kind of how I describe myself.
Ronan, you
Okay.
got a question for him or no?
Yeah, I do. How did you start your landscaping company?
Ronan, can you say it again?
How did you start your landscaping company, and what gave you the idea to do so?
Yeah, so my junior year of high school, it's probably different for you. What is that? What do you call it in England? Is it junior year or what?
So we go our tertiary. It's college, really. College.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So, all right.
It's so
okay.
weird.
Just
Yeah.
school. It's
Yeah,
just
all
school.
right.
School.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, so yeah.
School. Yeah.
Junior year of high school, for the American viewers, I was with my friend, and my mom's friend just had a back incident or something. She needed surgery, whatever it was. And she's a gardener. She's big online or on, keeping her yard look nice. Um, so she asked us to come over and help put down some mulch, plant a couple things, and she gave us, I think, like $40 each just for the day. And then my friend said, hey, we could, make some money doing this, just a low key thing. Maybe ask some older people if they need some stuff done. We charge like $20 each an hour, nothing crazy. And that's what we did. But so many people started calling because we were cheap, we were kids, they wanted to help us out. And then we realized, hey, we're actually providing industry standard level work. So why don't we make this a real thing? Yeah, our prices are still going to be slightly cheaper than the bigger companies, but we're going to up our game to where we're competing with them now. So we, started advertising in local Facebook groups, handing out flyers. I used sort of my film background to make commercials and stuff. And then before we knew it, we had 2 industry standard lawnmowers. We had a truck, a trailer, and this was all in like 3 months. And we did this every day, that and school. School got out at 3. Boom, we're in the truck, we're going to a client's house 7 days a week. We worked until it was pitch black, until 9 at night. So, yeah.
3 months to do all that. It's quite impressive, to be fair.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
So how much did you actually make in the end?
So, me personally, it's kind of tough because we didn't have an official business account. So most of the company finances were within my account and in my partner's account. So my personal money was also the company money, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I would say gross walk away, because I recently sold the company. So I started it and walked away. I'd say of pure profit, somewhere around 15 to 20K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what were your biggest obstacles starting that?
I would say just honestly the amount of time and hard work it is, because when you're just starting out, it was me and my partner. We didn't have people working for us because we couldn't afford it. So it was always us killing ourselves with not really great equipment in the beginning, which would have saved us energy and time. We didn't have the money to buy it. So we were out there killing ourselves with push mowers, when eventually we needed riding mowers to just make it faster, better, and yeah.
Okay. And what sort of negatives did you see? Like, how much time did it actually take off you?
That's hard because like the negatives of it were so much less than the positives. Like I was actually excited about doing it,
Yeah.
and it also kind of constituted as a workout too. So like, you know what I mean? Like the negatives were really only just the physical labor of it. Like it was brutal in the beginning, but it's like it paid off because I got in great shape from it. But then it's like I don't know, but also the money thing too. Like, cause when I started it, I only had like maybe 2 grand to my name, so like any business expense was coming out of my pocket, and it's like obviously starting a business is a huge gamble. So it's like if I screw this up, then I'm just coming out with less money than I had in the beginning. So that was sort of what I was worried about.
And what would your advice be to someone like you starting out? If you spoke to your younger self, what would you give the advice?
My advice would be to not take no for an answer, because there were so many people who would just be like, "Oh, like you're just walking around to your neighbors with, a wheelbarrow and a rake. Like you're not a real company. We don't want to hire you." And we just said, no, how can we do this better? And I would say that applies to anything, not just landscaping, not just business. We just kept going. We had a trailer fall off in the middle of the road and almost hit a guy on a bike. Like we could have killed the guy because we didn't know how to fasten the trailer correctly. Like I'm not a blue collar kid. I don't come from a blue collar background. So having a trailer and driving a truck was totally unfamiliar to me. Blue collar is like, working class, like it's physical labor, like plumbing, electrician, landscaper, construction worker, stuff like that, working with your hands and stuff. So that wasn't familiar to me, but I had the work ethic, so I sort of used that. But back to your original question, do not take no for an answer. Just keep going. People say no, you move on to the next one. You mess up, you get better at it. You just keep going, keep going. Because if there were times when I was just like, I want to stop right now, sell all the equipment, go work at the local grocery store, but I didn't, because I know that I had potential.
That's really fucking powerful. That's amazing.
Oh, God.
Just mindset.
Yeah.
That's all that is. Damn. What was the driver that really was like, I'm gonna do this and nothing is gonna stop me?
Well, so I would say that's like one of my main strengths. I sort of touched on it a bit in the opening, but I have this like innate drive that it can be very dangerous too. I think we talked about this in the pre-interview. Like you guys definitely have that. You're entrepreneurs too, so you can relate. But it's like you can't just do nothing. And I don't mean do nothing as in like literally sit there with your thoughts. I mean, I think that's important too, to be able to reflect, but I can't not be pursuing something or like creating something or doing something to better, not necessarily like self-improvement where I'm like going for like a 15-mile run every morning, but it's more just I have to be getting better at something and learning something and trying and failing at something. And that's what it is for my business and now more for my film pursuits. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that incident with the biker and all that. How
Yeah,
did it
so that
affect you?
was yeah, that was pretty scary. It was like I think the first month or maybe 2 months in, we just got the trailer because we just bought like one of those big like riding mowers, like real from Home Depot. It's like a $5,000 mower. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we got a trailer very cheap because we just bought a nice mower. We didn't have the money to go get then like a $3,000 trailer. So my partner's friend gave it to us for like $100. It was like wooden, kind of homemade, but it would sound. But on the trailer, hooking it up to the truck, there was like a weird pin thing that we didn't get right, and we drove it around. And I was driving on one of the main roads in my town, and I had to swerve a little bit because there was like a pothole or something, and the trailer unhooked, flew across the road up onto the sidewalk, and there was a biker that had just passed that location by maybe 5 feet. So if it came off, I'd say maybe a second earlier. I mean, this is a 2,000-pound trailer with a 1,000-pound mower on it, going 40 miles an hour. Like, we would have killed the guy. Yeah, and the whole road was lined up. The cops came, and it's funny actually. My best friend happened to be driving by, and he lives on a farm, so he knew what he was doing. He actually happened to have the exact pin in his truck that we needed to get the trailer back on. Yeah,
Wow, that's amazing.
shout out to Carlson. He saved us, but yeah,
Okay.
definitely scary.
Yeah. Tell me about your film pursuits.
Yeah, so I've always been into film. Just ever since I was younger, I was making like movies with my friends in the neighborhood on my mom's iPad, like using iMovie as the little
used to do
like
that too,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, they have the little template for you. Yeah, yeah. So we always did
Yeah.
that, and then we moved to like a horror TV show where I think it was called Under the Bed or something. I was like 10 years old, but we'd all make them and just have fun. We did a Hunger Games one, and I was like, this is so fun because we're just telling a story. Like, even when I was younger, I'd love to write little stories. The first one I ever wrote, it was called Super King. It was a Batman spinoff. I remember I had to have my dad type it for me because I didn't know how to type. I was that young. I was maybe 6. And I've just always loved to tell stories, and I've found that film is the perfect medium for that because it's like any emotion, any feeling you want to capture, you can do it in film. You can write, I mean, there's so many characters. Like, everyone you meet is a character or an inspiration for a character. That's why I try to live so much too. Like, I love something my brother said. He said he lives hard, and I love that. If you live hard, especially when you're doing creative stuff, you get so much inspiration. And that's why sometimes I'll be the first to admit I don't make the best decisions at all times. But anytime I make a bad decision, I'm thinking this is a chance to learn, and it's also damn good material to write a movie about.
Wow.
Okay. Tell me about your brother. Like, how does he affect your journey? Like,
My brother, he's my best friend. He's 6 years older than me. He graduated from Miami, Ohio, last year. Super smart guy, way smarter than I am. He's just like my role model. He's big into film too. He's not really on like the making of it side, but he loves watching them. We talk about that all the time.
yeah.
He's actually working as an editor for a nonfiction book right now in Boston. And just we have a ton of fun together. I think we relate on so many levels, and he definitely pushes me and motivates me to, you know, be a more informed person. He's very political. Just almost like understanding the world. That's definitely something I've taken from him.
And what are your goals for the future?
My goals for the future, well, actually short term, right now yesterday I started with a couple people. We're working on our first short film of college. So I'm really excited. His name's Ronan, actually, one of the kids. That's
Yeah, we actually
yeah,
have a kid
yeah,
in his name.
yeah. Or no, I don't think he plays football. This is a different Ronan.
There's another
Yeah,
Ronan.
I don't know the football Ronan. I know the
Yeah,
Ronan and
he's
Leo.
jacked.
Yeah, yeah,
2 Ronins.
yeah, two Ronans. But we're him and 2 of my other friends here, Vivek and Jaden. We're working on a short film about basically these 2 kids that both want to drop out of college, but then they end up convincing each other to stay. And depending on when this podcast releases, I don't know, but the film will be done in a couple weeks. So that's my short-term goal right now. I'm really excited to bring that to the screen. Any project I always get super locked in for. But long-term, ideally I can craft my portfolio here, starting with this short first, and then keep going, keep getting better, keep learning more. And then eventually the goal is to move to New York City after this and start to get as much work as I can in the film industry.
Okay, that's great. And how?
Amazing.
Thank you.
What would you say is your advice to building a great portfolio?
I would say, well, that's an interesting one because it's like, it's basically art. Like, I mean, it is art. It's not basically art. So every person has their own perspective. So I would say, I was guilty of this when I was younger, making short films or writing short films. My inspiration, I would just try to copy other directors or copy other films that I liked. But now that I've grown into myself more and become more comfortable with who I am, what I believe in, I'm writing films and making films based on my experiences or someone I know or something like that that I want to explore and is important to me. I'm not really focusing on, well, what will people like? Because if you put your vision on screen and people like it, that's cool. Or no, but if you push your, excuse me, fuck
Okay,
that one
take
up.
your time.
Yeah. If you put your vision out on the screen and it's good, people will like it. But if your vision is just aimed at what you think people will like, usually it's going to be bad. So I'm just following what is true to me, and I would say that for all artists in any medium or anyone in business or whatever, it all stems from you and who you are.
Okay. Marco, got any questions for you?
Marco, you got any questions for me?
I mean, your story is amazing. A lot of lifesavers. A lot of lifesavers. Um, but no, do you have somebody or yeah, do you have you had or do you have somebody in your life that just made you click? Like that went like, I'm gonna become like him or even better, and I'm gonna change my life. Because that's for me, it was David Goggins. David Goggins turned me into something that I thought I never could.
Mm.
I made all this other stuff. I started working out. I never wanted to work out. I hated working out. Now it's an art for me. It's an art. I love it.
Yeah.
I would never think it's one of my dreams to ever bench 135 pounds. I do it for reps.
Yeah.
It's my dream to deadlift 405 pounds. I rep it out.
Yeah.
You know, dreams only become reality when you're hungry for it. Cause that's how it's possible.
Very true.
It's not possible if you're not hungry. If you're not hungry, then you're mediocre. If you're not hungry, am I right or am I wrong?
You're 100% right.
Yeah. But no, your story it's amazing from film to lawn mowing to selling to going hopefully, and I believe in you. You're definitely gonna go to New York. I believe it.
Appreciate it.
And what was that advice saying for business and never giving up? What was it?
It's never taking no for an answer. It's just always you got to keep going. Like your thing with the hunger. If you're hungry and you ask someone for a sandwich, 10 people are gonna say no. 100 people are gonna say no. But then there's gonna be the one person that says, "Yeah, come on inside. I'll make you a steak and cheese." You know what I mean? Like, there's always gonna be someone that's interested, or there's always gonna be an opportunity that comes up. But if you just give up after the first couple, then you're not hungry enough.
Yeah, you failure. See.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So Ronan, are we on the fifth question or sixth question? What question are we on?
Question are we on?
What question are we on? Yeah.
I've only got a few questions, 6. So let's talk a bit more about your mindset. What sort of mindset do you have going into building your landscape?
Yeah, what type of mindset did you have about building the landscaping business and just shaping it?
Mm-hmm. Um, so the mindset originally, as I said, was just sort of like nonchalant, like it is what it is. I'm just gonna do it with my partner and that's it. And then it became like I need this because there was a certain like almost status factor that came with it because people started to understand, like in my high school Nirvana landscape, like people knew me. It started to become more of like a this is part of who I am, not this is what I do. So I took that and said, like, if this is part of who I am, then I'm gonna do it 100%. I'm not just gonna half-ass it. So the mindset was really all gas, no brakes. I mean, we just kept going and building up, building up. There really was no day off until we mowed the last lawn of the season back in November, and we took care of everyone's leaves, and then it was time for snow plowing. I personally didn't do snow plowing, too big of a risk financially, and then when it started up again in March or so of last year, we wanted to double our clientele from the season before. So that meant increasing the advertising, new marketing scheme. We got on a new partner, and then eventually we had to say goodbye to the old partner. Yeah, we had to buy him out. But yeah, it's really just all gas, no brakes.
See, okay. And what are your personal hobbies aside from doing business?
All gas, no break.
All gas, no brakes. Yeah.
It's a good slogan.
Yeah.
All gas, no break. I like that.
I wish I was the first person to say that, but I'm not. My hobbies are, I mean, outside of film, I would say music. That's more of a hobby because at this point in time, I'm not really pursuing a career in it. It's more of just for fun. I've been making music for probably 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was good yesterday. I think this was at like 1 o'clock. This was in the afternoon. He was on the guitar, and I was like half asleep because I had like 5.5, 6 hours that night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that my boy playing the guitar? And it was. No, it's like he's playing with it's like he's an actual fucking artist. You're actually like insane at it. It's like you're like Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk. That's how good you are. That's how good you are. I'm serious. It's like you could feel the music on your skin. That's how good. I mean, that's what I felt the music on my skin when I was walking by. So
I appreciate that.
that's all I gotta say for
Thank
your
you.
good. That's all I gotta
Yeah.
say as you being a guitarist. It's amazing.
Thank you. I'm getting better every day. There's a lot of people who I've had to learn from, and I mean, it's amazing how many good guitarists are out there. But I appreciate that. Yeah. So music I've been doing for a while too. That ties back into that creative pursuit thing. You know, I play guitar, play a little bit of drums, but I also do a lot of music production on my laptop. I do vocals here and there, write songs, but it's mostly for fun. I used to try to advertise when I was early in high school, but I wasn't good enough then, not good enough now. So it's something that I'm just continually getting better at until I feel that I'm at a point where I would want to release music. But that's more of a hypothetical. For now, it's just totally something to do to fulfill me.
Okay. What are you doing in college right now then?
I'm studying film.
Phil.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm studying film. I'm in the film club. I'm also doing the club tennis team. So I'm staying busy for sure.
And how has the film course been?
The film courses have been good so far. One of them we're just analyzing films. Another one is focus more on black cinema and culture studies of black people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like Power to the People. Yeah. So we're learning about that, and also there's some literature in there. And then I'm also taking a visual editing course, so Photoshop and video editing. Um, yeah, and then and I'm also taking philosophy, which I love. I'm big into philosophy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. My brother is a philosophy major actually. That's why I'm into it. But yeah, classes are great so far. It's been good because it's all stuff I'm interested in, so it's super easy to stay engaged.
Yeah. Okay. So you intend on making it like proper big with the music stuff, film stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I mean that's the goal. It's also like saying I want to play in the NBA. It's not easy to make it. I'm prepared for the struggle that's going to happen. I can see it now. I'm going to be living in this tiny apartment in New York City. I'm going to be a bartender somewhere I'm going to be interning on film sets, doing coffee orders and stuff. But but that's going to be part of the struggle. And then one day I'm going to get the right opportunity because I'm going to stay hungry, like we talked about. I'm not going to say no. And then eventually it will come. It may take 6 months. It may take 5, 10 years. But I know I have a belief in myself, which everyone has to. If you want to make it in anything, you have to have that. You have to see it. Like I can see it. I've always been able to see it. And I think everyone can see something for themselves, and you need to follow that.
Just like one day or day one.
Exactly. Yeah. I like that too.
Okay. What other sort of hobbies will you get into in the future?
I mean, between music and film, I that's kind of my main thing. But I also like tennis. I like golf, basketball. I'm not a huge sports guy. I was more when I was younger. Played football in high school, but um, I'd love to play in some sort of competitive tennis league or golf league or something. But yeah, I'm honestly my plate's pretty full when it comes to hobbies. Um, but yeah, there's plenty of stuff that life's long. I'm sure I'll find something else that sparks my interest.
Okay. How about we talk about how you and Marco met?
Who wants to talk about how we met? Oh, that's a funny one. Yeah,
Let's hear it.
how you and I met. Here, do you want? Yeah, you go for it.
All right.
I've talked a lot.
No, it's good. No, it's good. Trust me, it's good. All right. So, how did we meet? So, me and Bryson met at a. All right. So this was at what, Dom's party?
Yes, the first Saturday night of college.
All right. So this was the first Saturday night of college, and the room right next to me was
Right over
booming. Absolutely boom, boom. I'm like, what is happening?
And it was like 2 a.m.
I walk in, we got whole bunch of chicks, and we got Bryson, and we got like 6 other dudes. I'm like, how the fuck can you fit a party in this bitch? But and then I'm just talking, and then I end up talking to Bryson, and then he ends up talking about film, he ends up talking about music, and he talks about the landscaping company. I'm like, then I say, I have a podcast. Do you think you could join me? Like as an interview. And then he's like, yeah, but I'll take $100 an hour.
Oh god,
What?
no. What's going on there? I think we're gonna have to cut this short.
and then, like-
We haven't got the budget to afford it. All right.
Yeah, we don't got the budget to afford that. I'm like, yo, what? I don't got the money to afford that. He's like, oh, then no interview. And then a couple seconds later, he's like, nah, I'm just fucking with you, dude, of course. But No, it was a great night that night. It was yeah, geez, 2 in the morning. Um then it was like we had to schedule plans and all that. Uh do you have anything else to say about that night? Because that was a crazy fucking night.
Yeah, I just remember Marco turns around at the door and he's like, "Has anyone in here done anything important with their lives?" Yeah. And everyone's just like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" And that he like we needed context. Like cuz I didn't know you. I thought you were just being an asshole like, "Oh, look at me" or something. But then I realized you were trying to recruit for your pod. And I was like,
Oh
"Oh,
my.
that's respect. I like it."
What are you recruiting in a
Yeah.
party? Okay, right, whatever.
Sorry, Ronan, I did it wrong. Oh, I gotta get better. I'm sorry, Ronan. I'm sorry. So,
Okay, interesting.
yeah, I know, very interesting. I know that was no, that was a way to make a fool of myself, all right.
Can you move like closer to Bryson, like just a little bit? So you're like on.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that works. Okay. What were you saying?
All right. What was I saying? No, it's just that I made a fucking fool out of myself, kind of. Everybody kind of laughed. I'm like, okay, I didn't give a fuck because I wanted you to be on the podcast for an interview, and now
Yeah.
it finally happened.
There you go.
But yeah, that's how we met at a party at 2. Um, I mean, what else?
Okay. What do you guys think about parties?
Ooh, what do I think about parties?
And
I
Bryson.
mean, my first ever party was the Jock Jam. Actually,
Really?
that was my
Wow.
first ever party. Well, actually, no. Actually, I'm sorry. Admitted Students Day was my first. So that was like April, May.
Mhm.
It was fun. It was nice. I mean, I was a little worried. I don't know why, but it was fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. When was, excuse me. When was your first party?
Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Yeah. My first party was, I mean, in middle school. By party, are we talking when there's like alcohol and drugs involved?
You can say that.
Yeah, because like I went to like, groups of guys and girls in people's basements drinking fruit punch and having popcorn, but that's not a party. That's like, yeah, I guess it's a social event, but when I think of party, I think when people are doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing. Yeah. But my first party was like high school party was probably sophomore year. Yeah, it was sophomore year. I got into um drinking kind of earlier than I should have just because I was like my friends from home were usually older than me, my brother's older than me, so that's also why I kind of feel like I'm like people say I'm an old soul just because I've been exposed to that stuff earlier. Um but I personally like parties because it's a chance for me to meet people in more of an organic way. Like sometimes it's difficult in a classroom setting or like when things have to be professional. Sometimes it's nice to get a little silly and get out of your head. And that doesn't have to be through alcohol. I personally don't do any drugs or eat weed or any of that. I don't like it. It's not for me. But I do drink from time to time. But I like a party. Sometimes it can be too much. I get overstimulated kind of easily, and my social battery kind of can wear out fast. Yeah, and I've been at college. I mean, there's been a lot of socializing, and it's been nice because I've kind of learned how to manage the environment. Because in high school, it was like you go to school, you don't really socialize, but Friday night football games and Saturday night is the party. That's when you socialize. So here, it's kind of like learning how to balance it, which I really like. But yeah, I do enjoy parties, but I'm more of a bar guy or a club guy. Like I've been going. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I haven't been going to any bars here because I'm not 21.
Well, if you came to the UK, you'd be fine.
If you came to the UK, you would be fine.
Yeah, I was.
But yeah, all right.
Wow.
Yeah. I went to Paris and Barcelona back in April, and they didn't even like ID me once or check or anything. I kind of like the European approach because it's like you notice here in the United States, there's a ton of binge drinking and stuff, and people are just getting so belligerent and just getting so drunk. But in the UK, they've been exposed to alcohol at an earlier age, so they can drink responsibly if they do want to drink. And I think America should honestly adopt that because there's way too many kids that come to college that have never been able to drink in a safe environment. And they say, oh, parents aren't around. Let me just drink as much as I can until I'm throwing up. And then that's how people go to the hospital or die. So, or get involved in rape cases, or like there's a lot of serious stuff that can escalate it. Can get escalated through alcohol. So I like the European approach. I think you guys do it well over there.
Although we're more heavy drinkers around here, so I wouldn't think that's
There are much more extreme and heavier drinkers in the UK. That's what he just said.
Really, because I wrote a paper on this, and most of the studies were saying that you guys are like way less cases of like drunk driving. There's way less cases of people like being hospitalized, and I get maybe people drink more often, but I feel like you guys, the culture, like
Less
your
cases,
colleges
yeah.
and stuff isn't the same.
Less cases.
Yeah. So I guess maybe that's what I'm getting at, but I don't know. I mean, the grass is always greener, right?
You've done the research, so
You
Yeah.
have done the research, so
Not saying that I'm not trying to be like a know-it-all. You would know about the UK better than I would,
yeah,
but that's
of
what I
course,
was always
yeah.
under the impression. Yeah.
of course, but okay. And how often do you reflect on your own actions and what you've done with your life?
That's a long sentence. I can't repeat that. That's a long sentence.
Okay.
Can you say that again?
How often do you reflect on like your own life and actions?
That's a good one. I try to as much as I can. I think like listening to music and going on a walk for me is like the time for me to do that. And
Yeah.
but it also can be it's a double-edged sword because sometimes you can be too much in your own head and reflecting too much about your actions. Sometimes it's nice to just get out, but there's also a huge importance of reflecting on who you are, what you believe in. So I think I'm never really not doing that. It's more when can I not be thinking all the time? Because sometimes it's like too much reflection is self-handicapping, because then it's like if I'm talking to someone new, oh my god, what am I saying right now? That's weird. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, that's a lame joke. Like if you're just constantly thinking about everything you're doing, that can be harmful too. Exactly. It can be deadly.
Not gonna lie, sometimes it can actually lead to suicide.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. But it's also, you don't want to not be thinking at all, because then you're not questioning your beliefs, you're not learning, you're not getting better as a person, you're not in touch with your own reality. So there's sort of it's like a pendulum that swings back and forth. So sometimes I'm more on the, thinking and reflecting side. Most of the time I'm more over here, but when I can be over here, not all the way over here, but like over here and just kind of be like, okay, it's there, but I'm free, I'm present. That's the sweet spot for me.
Yeah, I like what you said about the pendulum. I find that really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good metaphor for anything, honestly. Like you don't want to go too far in one direction.
Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
because something could actually sometimes be damaging to you.
100%.
You never have too much of something good. A little bit, maybe like a little bit of something bad, and like, not mediocre, but how do you say it? And like, there's this word that I'm forgetting right now, and it's really bad. It's really bad. In mediocrity, or how?
Complacency?
Like, all right, let me give you an example. Like, you shouldn't have McDonald's every day. You should. Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
But the only way to not overthink, the answer is to journal every single day. That's the only way to not overthink. Because when I started journaling, I'm like, I just don't overthink anymore. It's easier for my brain to process things. So
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, when I was younger, I suffered from it more, but I do have the occasional panic attack or just like overwhelmed sense of anxiety. And it usually would happen, especially in high school, around when I was going to bed. And I did start journaling and just writing down some of these absurd thoughts that I had. And once you get it out, it's like I almost laugh at myself. Like, why am I nervous about it? Yeah, yeah. So once you journal, I don't do it every day. I should be more consistent with it, but I definitely get where you're
I
coming
used to,
from.
I don't need to do it anymore, but I should do it again because it's a very good and clean habit for the brain and for the body. But I don't do it anymore because I'm not as much as an overthinker and I'm more um clear like water with my thoughts. My brain is sometimes always clear. I'm good. I'm much better under pressure.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's good. That's great.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So when did you
Yeah.
start journaling stuff?
I started actually. I for some reason know the exact date of my first because it's all in one book still. January 21st, 2019. My freshman year. I was I was playing basketball. I was on the basketball team. The coach was a complete asshole. He ended up getting fired because he was an anti-Semite. So that goes to show who the someone who is basically like against religious people, and like it's like the equivalent of a racist, but it's for religion, specifically Jews.
It's and like an atheist at the same time.
No, it's they're making fun of a said religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not like I don't think it's most. This guy, he was just making fun of Jewish people, like the like oh big nose or like those stereotypes. Yeah, so anti-Semite. Um, but it can be for all religions. I mean, there's plenty of stuff like that. But yeah. So he ended up getting fired, but that's besides the point. He was giving me a lot of trouble. He was making me super like questioning myself and my self-worth, and it started to bleed into other aspects of my life. So I just really needed to start writing it down. And it started as for me venting and just like being super pessimistic about life and high school and my athletics and just everything. And then the more I started to do it, it kind of turned into more like getting creative with it, started to do more poetry. And now it's just like super casual. Sometimes if a film moves me in a certain way, I'll write down how it made me feel. If I sense like something that makes me anxious, I write it down. Just stuff like that to get it out.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, do you go to the gym?
Yeah, so lifting is like it's a on and off thing for me because I started lifting. I grew up really heavy as a kid. Like I was that one fat kid like from the Sandlot. Like
No.
yeah, I was always like the butt of the joke. So in 8th grade, uh once I realized that like I want to play football and stuff. Well, I started in 7th grade, but I didn't get any time because I was fat and out of shape. But in 8th grade, I started going to the gym, did a ton of research on dieting, but I also hit puberty. So I got in really good shape, and then I was lifting hard. I was dieting hard from 8th grade to 9th grade, and then when quarantine happened and we were shut down, I stopped working out and I started eating like shit. Like I went on some live stream and like pounded a dozen donuts, like just because it was funny, but it was disgusting. And I gained like 50 pounds over quarantine. I went from like being in really good shape to like a balloon. Like let me put this into perspective. I'm 210 right now. I was like 245, 240. So And then I got back into lifting sophomore year, lost the weight. Junior year, played football again, really good shape. Then I got 2 concussions playing football, stopped lifting for a bit. And then I've been on and off. Once I started landscaping, I didn't have the time for it. It comes in waves. For me, it's more about overall health because I sort of developed an unhealthy relationship where it became more about how I looked, how big my biceps were, or what I was benching, and it was less about my health and how I felt. Because sometimes, back to the pendulum, if you're dieting too hard and lifting too hard, your mental health goes to shit. And that's what happened to me. So now I'm taking more of just like a moderate approach to it. I'm getting my cardio in, but most importantly, I'm focusing on what I'm eating. Because for me, that's the greatest impact on my body and how I feel is what I'm eating. So I always make sure I'm eating right and, working out 3 to 4 times a week, but I'm not going crazy. I'm not counting calories anymore because that doesn't work for me. It works for a lot of people, but I'm just like, I don't have a healthy relationship with it. So I don't really do that anymore.
Okay. So, what were you like as a kid then? Wait, can you hear me?
Super annoying, super, yeah.
10th grade. Yeah, no, it stopped in 10th.
Yeah, like the class clown type of kid. Yeah, that was me. But I was always myself. I got bullied a lot because I had a YouTube channel and I would do vlogs like Casey Neistat and Roman Atwood. Those guys. Yeah. Yeah, I was doing all the vlogs and stuff. And yeah. I was super, self-indulgent. I mean, I still kind of am, as you can tell from the interview, but I try to be better about it. But I was always trying to be myself, and I still am, and that's important to me. But I got a lot of hate for that. Understandably so, though. Like, some of the stuff I was doing was just outrageous. But I was always just outgoing, always looking for adventure. I was never the kid that kind of sat inside and played video games. I grew up without a phone, until I was like 11 or 12. But like I didn't, yeah.
6th, 7th grade, and then I
Yeah. Yeah. But like I was never inside. I wasn't a video game guy. They're still my best friends to this day. These 3 Irish boys on my street, and we would just every day get on our bikes, look to cause trouble, just build stuff in the woods, make those videos I was talking about earlier. We would just have so much fun and explore, and it's part of who I am still. Like being with those guys and figuring stuff out on our own was huge for me. That's like I'm gonna write a film about it one day, I hope. But like the importance of having a childhood like that is huge for me. And if I have kids one day, I hope they can experience the same thing.
Do you want kids?
Yeah, I would like to have kids, but not in any foreseeable future. Not right now, or obviously not right now. But like, not in the next decade even.
One thing
Yeah.
is that, did you know that if you find your significant other here, marriage pays for the entire wedding?
They pay for the wedding.
The entire thing.
Okay, looks like I'm going out to propose to someone. Yeah. But no, my parents are older parents, and I think that their model is good. I like it because my dad was 49 when he had me, or not had me, but when I was born. Well, my mom was 42. I was also the younger one, so they were slightly younger when they had my brother, but 6 years younger. But I think it's important to be able to develop who you are, your career, have as much fun as you want, travel the world, do all that, because once you have kids, I mean, there'll still be time for that, but it's less time. I want to spend my 20s and like most of my 30s focusing on my career, focusing on myself, meeting new people, doing cool things. And then when it's time to settle down with the right person, of course, because who knows when that comes along, if it does, it needs to be later on for me. Even if I met the right person tomorrow, I still would want to wait as long as possible. Yeah.
Okay.
That's smart. No, I would.
I'm the opposite.
Really?
I'm the opposite because I want somebody to be with me at my lowest, so I can be at my best with them.
That's true. That's
Because if you don't have somebody with you at your best, and like it's gonna feel like they're using you for your money. Like think about it, they're using you for your success. They're not really want you. Like if you just got broke the next day, you never know if they walk away or they'll stay with you.
That is true.
You know, that's why I'm like, not gonna lie, let's go with me being at my worst. Because right now I'm kind of at my worst, and I know by like senior year or when I'm out of here, I'm gonna be at my best.
Yeah.
But that's why I'd rather somebody come with me or join me while I'm at my lowest, so they can earn me and I can earn them with their respect. So
Yeah, no, I definitely see that too. But I'm also, I think, I forget who said it. I mean, it's a pretty common idea, but like, you need to learn how to love yourself before you can love someone else. And that's kind of key for me. Like, I do love myself, but I don't feel that I'm at the position where I could even think about a lifetime partner at this point. Because there's so much I want to experience. Yeah. Yeah.
You tell Mark to
Yeah, there's no
move in
right
the
or wrong.
camera.
Marco, move into the camera a little bit.
Okay. I don't know why you keep shifting along, but all right.
He doesn't know why you keep shifting.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's good.
So,
it's fine.
what were we saying?
I was just saying there's no right or wrong for anything. There's that whole like phenomenon of a social clock and when someone should be doing something it's wrong. I mean, everyone enters different points, accomplishes different things at different times in their lives. So there's no one size fits all for anything. So
Okay. So, have you got anyone who has the same ambitions as you with film?
yeah, I mean, with film specifically, yes, I've met three really great people here so far that are into film. We're working, as I said, we're working on something. But overall general ambitions, one of my best friends, the guy who actually saved me with the trailer hitch, he's one of the most ambitious people I know. He's not into, I mean, he likes movies, but he's not a film major. But he started a business as well in high school called Goodwood Firewood. And he would do, firewood, and he grew up on a farm, and he's just a super hardworking kid. He pursues internships. He's at Mississippi State right now. He's a sophomore. He's sort of like me in that way, and that's why we're so close, because if you surround yourself with people like that, as you guys have done, it does wonders, because you are who you surround yourself with, really.
I agree. Yeah. And what sort of, because you're saying that, what sort of circle are you gonna think of getting towards? Like, you're gonna shift towards a new circle? You're just gonna like bring along your friends with you on your.
Are you saying here at school or after school?
So this is for your ambitions.
Yeah. So, I mean, the crew I have back home, they'll be my ride or die for the rest of my life as I see it right now. None of them are into film really, but they're all great people in their own way. And it's more of a family thing. So I don't even count that really. But now that I'm in the new chapter of my life, I am looking to surround myself with people who are ambitious, and it doesn't have to be in film. It can be in anything, but just people who want more and value themselves and want to achieve, because that
Yeah.
it's like a community when you're around people like that. But it can be in all different sorts of things. It's great that I've already had some film connections. I'm gonna try to hold on to those and make more, but also just having friends here that are like-minded, and I've found that already. I mean, the guys I've been hanging out with so far are all very smart kids and are all looking, they understand why we're here. We're here for our career. We're also here to experience stuff and have fun. There's no doubt about that. I mean, having fun and experiences is just as important as learning in the classroom. It's all just expanding your mind and your perspective on yourself and on the world. But there has to be sort of a balance between finding people you like to have fun with and finding people who are looking to achieve. And if you find the perfect mix, which I definitely have at home and I have here, I'm set. That's what I look for in friends. Just I need to, and different people have different things for you. Like some people are strictly, hey, let's go hang out and have a good time. Let's watch the Patriots game. Let's, order a pizza and do that, and that can be fun. Or there's the person who's just like, let's talk business. Let's spitball about certain schemes or whatever. But then there's the people that do a little bit of both. So it all depends on the scenario,
Yeah. Okay. Question's going out of my head now. Oh yeah. Do you plan on posting anything to YouTube? Since that's a platform that you can branch yourself out, make yourself known to people.
Yeah, actually, I was talking with one of my friends the other day, actually. This short film that I'm working on now will definitely be on my YouTube channel. I was the video yearbook director for my high school, so that's on there. And I've made short films in the past for festivals and stuff, but those aren't up because I don't feel it really represents my work. It was a couple years ago anyways, so I'm sort of a perfectionist in that sense. I'm not going to just put out content for the sake of putting it out, because especially in film it kind of has to be perfect, because if a potential employer or someone who wants to work with me sees something that is not really my best, it's kind of off-putting, because in film literally every frame counts. But yeah, I'm definitely going to start to work on YouTube and getting my portfolio built now that I'm in college. And in 4 years, actually less than 4 years now, it's gonna be go time, and people are gonna need to see my work. So yeah.
Okay, that's great. I would get started on that as soon as you can, to be honest. Do recommend that for you.
Yeah, I know you guys have a pretty good YouTube channel set up now, and it's gonna keep growing. So yeah, it looks great. Marco and I were looking at it before. It looked super professional. So I'm definitely gonna get into it soon.
100%, yeah. Obviously, we're not the
Yeah.
best we can be, and we're always going to improve. So
Exactly. It's
yeah.
all one step up every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Exactly, right. Yeah. One step closer to success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Awesome.
Has Marco got any questions for you?
You got any more questions?
Was probably the best interview that we will ever have. Like, honestly, I'm rating this like a 9.5 out of 10, or a 10 out of 10. What do you think, Ronan?
Yeah, I love talking to Bryson, knowing about his life. Do you want me to carry on?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you guys are great. I appreciate you for having me on here. I'm glad I could come on, talk about this stuff. I hope I didn't talk too much where anyone's bored. Yeah.
A lot is perfect.
Yeah.
You're meant to talk more than.
Yeah.
You're meant to talk more than
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Here, I'll give it back to you.
Amazing. No, not gonna lie, this is the best interview. What do you think?
Yeah, I loved it. It's good to get to know Bryson and everything he's about, especially like getting a dive into the film industry and landscaping, stuff like that. It's been great.
Yeah.
What have you got to say, Marco?
Nothing. I'm out.
Right?
This thing is out of order. Everything was asked, everything was answered and beautifully said, everything was explained right. I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. Well,
What do you have to say, Ron?
I'd usually have one more question.
What's the question?
I'm trying to think.
Oh, you want to make up another question?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one. Okay.
I mean, we talked about the film industry. We talked about his background. We talked about
Okay, let's
I
give
mean-
a let's tell him to give a rough overview of like his whole
So,
life and everything. Yeah.
So what is a rough overview of your entire life, even though that you were 18 years old?
I would say if I had to sum it up, it would be trials and tribulations. Just, I'm constantly trying something, failing at it, trying again, failing, trying again, maybe succeeding, maybe not. But it's always just, it's really falling off the horse and getting back on, because that's all I've known. I mean, I have amazing family. My parents are awesome. I couldn't ask for anything else. I didn't have a tough home life whatsoever. But like in terms of my personal pursuits, there has been many times where I have screwed up greatly with my own self, with something I was trying to do. But I'm still here and I'm still going and I still love it. So it's just constantly getting better and growing. That's how I'd sum it up.
And describe yourself in 3 words for me.
Describe yourself in only 3 words for the pod.
3 words. Oh, that's a tough one. I would say creative, 1. Genuine, 2. I really try to be as caring and as genuine with people as possible, because I can't stand disingenuous people. When someone's being fake to me, I can spot it immediately and I hate it. So I try to be genuine at all times. And then 3 would probably be so I have creative, genuine, and I would just say pursuing. I know that doesn't really fit because
No,
that's
it does.
It
Yeah.
actually fits perfect.
yeah,
So it's pursuing,
being creative and being genuine. Those are
genuine, pursuing.
yeah, that's how I'd put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you guys gonna do for the rest of tonight?
What are we gonna do for the rest of tonight? I have a class at 5 to 6:15, and then I'm probably gonna hit the gym. Today's a chest and back day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat more food.
This guy can eat. He pounded 3 protein bars before we got on the pod.
A lot of nutrition.
My night, I am after this, I'm going to actually work with my friends on finishing the script for the short film. And then I'm have a little bit of a cold. I'm debating whether I go hit the gym. I don't want to be that guy that goes into a public space sick and starts touching a bunch of stuff. It's not bad. I'm not gonna, but like I don't know. And then probably get some dinner and then hang out with some people. Might go out, might stay in. That's kind of what I like the uncertainty.
It doesn't feel like a Friday, does it?
It doesn't. Yeah.
No,
Because we had a
doesn't
4-day
feel like a
week.
Friday.
So
You're right.
Does
It
it?
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
yeah.
But no, I gotta edit some videos.
Yes, you do.
do more schoolwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Yeah, edit some videos because I know that's a priority for us. And don't you worry, I will get them done. Don't you worry. Um, nah, it was a pleasure having you on the podcast, man.
Thank you. It was a
One more
pleasure to be
question.
here.
One more
Pleasure.
question.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that was crisp. Yeah.
I
Thank
have
you,
one more
Ronan.
question.
Appreciate it, man.
one more
Yeah.
question.
Oh, one more. Here we go.
Okay. What's your guide to storytelling? Becoming really good at that.
Oh, what is your guide to storytelling, and how do you get amazing or great at it?
Ooh. My guide to storytelling is, well, it starts with that initial spark. So it's whatever it may be, a specific experience that happens. Maybe say one interaction. I'm ordering food and someone's vibe that they give off. Oh, this person's interesting. I'm gonna make a character about them and examine what they do on the day to life. Or it could be tackling a general emotion that I've been feeling. Like the short film that we're writing about is about the struggle of adapting to college life and about juggling homesickness, about juggling making friends, juggling schoolwork. That's a very broad thing, but it's about finding that spark that you can relate to or want to relate to or want to explore more, finding that, and then from there crafting the story around that, and really just going where it takes you. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to write a story or to make a film or to do anything or write music, really. I mean, sure, there's stuff that's objectively better than others, but in terms of the story structure, I don't believe in it needs to be, the exciting incident needs to be on page 33 of the screenplay and then it needs to resolve on page 128. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're doing it and you're being genuine, as I said, if you're being genuine to what you want to explore, then I don't think there's wrong way. And that's just something I try to live by when making stories.
So is that one of the life principles you'd sort of carry with you?
Is that one of the life principles that you carry with you?
Being genuine? Yeah, I would say with the
Yeah, because you said that
Yeah.
you're very genuine guy.
or I try to be
What is
pursuing.
pursuing?
Yes.
He is, as you can tell, extremely genuine.
I try my best. Sometimes I can come off as disingenuous when I'm trying to be genuine, but I don't know. Some people gauge me as like I'll say something and they think I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. So I try to be genuine.
Okay. Yeah. I love that because the new age of
Cool.
social media is either short form content or
Yeah, the new age of social media is it's short. Did you say short form platter?
short form content or being really, really good at storytelling in long form.
Right. Yeah, there is that discussion there. I mean, people's attention spans are dwindling just because TikTok. I mean, what is the average video, like 13 seconds or something? So it's people don't want to sit down and watch long content. I totally get that, and that's one of the problems with the film industry, but I think there'll always be a place for movies because it's just like so crucial to culture, and it's art, and there'll always be people who want to watch movies, and especially this year with Oppenheimer and Barbie recently coming out, it's been a revival.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because what Barbie does, it makes the women be on top. Women be the leader. But when really most of the leaders of the world were men.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I think it's more about it's a social satire just of sometimes, the patriarchal society that men like to hold, and I enjoyed it. I'm not like, obviously I'm not a woman, but I I enjoyed it. I understand that the target audience is women and it's important for men to respect women. Is it my favorite movie ever? No. I like the director a lot, Greta
What's your favorite
Gerwig.
movie? My favorite movie is Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like Eternal Sunshine and the Spotless Mind. That's what my tattoo
Yes,
is.
his
Yeah.
tattoo says enjoy. Actually, you know what? Let me show you what his tattoo is.
Yeah.
I can.
It's a bit blurry on the stream. Just
Says
hold it
right
still.
there.
Can you hold it still?
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Okay, I think that should be
Yeah.
good. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Hold it still.
Yeah, that's good. I see.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. No, that's good. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now
That's alright.
Yeah.
it says enjoy it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something I try to live by. That was in the film.
Because life is too fucking short not to enjoy it.
Exactly. And there's nothing else at the very bare minimum. Try to enjoy every moment. Obviously that's not feasible or realistic, but
Like I love this. I love this shit.
this is awesome.
This is my art. This is me and Ronan's art. you know?
Yeah. And everything is art. I mean, really just this is awesome. I love what you guys are doing with it. So
I
You
would
think
handshake you if I knew you in
Oppenheimer
person. I'd be
versus
like,
Barbie? Barbie would be like a modernity. What?
he said he'd handshake me if he knew me in person.
No, he's very cool, isn't he? He's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, Barbie and Oppenheimer could be like masculinity versus modernity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I could see that. But either way, it's still just great for the film industry. I know the writers are on strike right now, but it's great for the film industry to
Why are
have
the
that.
writers on strike?
It's basically there's a combination of the studios don't want to pay the writers for well, the writers are on strike because of unfair wages and the actors are on strike because of AI technology. Basically, AI can take the actors' faces and voices and put them in a film without the actors' consent or them being paid. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so that's why people are on strike. And it will end and the film industry will go back to normal because they need these actors and writers more than
AI.
AI. But that's what's going on right now.
That's insane. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
okay.
So,
So, I mean, is there anything else?
I don't have anything. Ronan?
You brought up a really interesting discussion there.
With the AI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
was-
AI is one of the
AI
things
is
that's
extremely
been killing me.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous, yeah. Very.
I can see why people are attracted to it, and I can see why it's great for human advancement to be able to come up with a piece of technology like this. But when it's putting humans out of work,
That's not good.
then there's a problem. Because, yeah, honestly, I don't give a shit if it's the best movie of all time. If some random computer wrote it, I really don't give a shit about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about personal touch, personal experience. Emotion is more important than anything in art.
Emotion, yes.
And you can't sit here and tell me that a computer can have the same I know they're saying that they are starting to have emotions or whatever.
It's that doesn't even work.
They're saying that
How
they're
can
programmed.
how can a computer develop emotions? Like, can a computer cry?
No.
Can a computer get mad?
They're saying that they can feel empathy.
How?
I don't know. I'm not tech savvy at all. I wish I could try to understand or explain the science behind it. I can't.
That's insane.
But yeah.
AI having feelings.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. But I don't think I'm not worried about it. By the time I get into the industry, I mean, I'll probably do some internships while I'm in college, but this is still 4 years away. I think this whole AI facade will be done with, and it will probably just be used as maybe if people are experiencing writer's block or something. AI, give me a prompt. give me a general idea for a movie, and then the person still has to take that and write from it. But these machines aren't going to be pumping out full scripts that people take and make the film with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't see that happening.
Like the best movies are only made from people, like Rocky, like The Terminator, like what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
amazing fucking movies,
Yeah.
like Parent Trap,
Mhm.
like The Titanic, The Predator.
Yeah.
Those are made by non-AI, by people.
Yeah. I mean, every movie ever. Could say any movie.
Yeah, no,
Right
some movies,
as of now.
some movies are actually going to AI. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But all the classic movies, all the movies that I
Beautiful.
rank above. I mean, I don't think I've seen an AI movie, but yeah, that's I'm not worried about it, though.
I think it'll be all right,
Yeah.
especially when you're in the film studio. I think it'll be just fine.
Yeah, and you guys doing podcasting, I mean, you're not gonna sit here and interview a robot, so you guys will
Maybe one robot.
Yeah, maybe just to get inside the mind of an AI, but other than that, you guys
Yeah.
will definitely be fine. Yeah.
Okay. How long do you guys have until you need to go?
I need to go in like 8 minutes.
Okay, we'll wrap it up now then.
I gotta go write. Yeah, I'm writing for my short film. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to go to class, or?
No, I'm just meeting with some people in the library. Yeah.
Okay.
But
It's 2:22.
yeah. Yeah.
7 p.m. for me here. As you can see, it's getting dark.
Oh, 7. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
How far outside of London are you?
Like 3 hours.
So what town or city is closest to you?
Do you know where Bristol is? And Bath.
No.
Bath is a really,
I've heard of Bristol, but
have you heard of the Roman baths?
no.
Okay. Well, those two are they're right next to each other, Bristol and Bath. One's like
Us
Roman.
Americans, we don't know geography.
Okay, well, if you search on Google Maps, maybe you'll find it. So
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, cool. I'll give these back to you.
Okay.
I mean, wow, what a podcast, dude. Oh shit, hold on. I just stepped on it. I'm sorry. All right. It's now plugged back in. Hi.
Is that better?
Much better.
Okay. So I just want to tell him thank you for joining us on this podcast.
Yeah, he wants to say thank you for joining for the podcast and letting us interview you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course. And in like a year's time or something like that, maybe a few months, we can have you back on,
Yeah, maybe in a few months or so, like how Joe Rogan does it. Like
maybe come back and check in. That definitely.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, see how you are and see how everything is.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. So
Yeah.
to all the viewers watching, today we have interviewed Bryson, where we have gone through
Bryson Mustard. We have
Yes.
interviewed Bryson Mustard, the man, myth, and legend, and someday he will become a guitarist, a director, and hopefully, and also a business owner.
Couldn't go wrong either way. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, we are gonna put his YouTube channel link in the description so you could check it out. So yeah.
Okay. So should we wrap it up here then?
Right. Yeah. This was insane. This shit was insane. What do you think? Come on. What do you think?
Yeah, it was good. Getting a good insight and the whole story around bit. That interested me quite a lot. So
It interested him, so that's great.
you can say the
All
story
right,
writing
well,
part and everything. So
Yeah.
gotta get going.
Oh, all right. It was
Appreciate it.
jeez. That's all right.
Yeah.
It was great to interview you, dude. And all right, ended Ronan.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching this podcast. If you guys want to follow for us for more podcasts, we are on YouTube, where you're watching it now, or listening on Spotify. Make sure to follow us on all these platforms for more and upcoming uploads. Without further ado, thank you guys for watching.
Peace out.